I'm moving from agency swarm to lane graph. I have been building with agency swarm probably for close to a year now, using that as the primary framework for Pail Swarm, which is the internal agentic system that I have at Lunch Pail Labs to help me do work. Now that I'm getting into more complex workflows where it not only needs to be AI smart, but there are chunks that are deterministic or steps in the workflow where it should execute the same every time. I find that it is harder for me to conceptualize how to make that happen and work. I've decided to spend more time on a more known framework called Lane Graph. And I really like how they approach workflows and how agents run, basically with this thing called graphs. Just for some context here, a graph has a series of nodes and what they call edges. Nodes are kind of like the steps in the graph. Like, first I go outside, then I walk the dog, then I decide to buy a hot dog or go back home, and then I end. And the edges decide whether a straight edge, or rather a plain just edge, means steps go 1, 2, 3. A conditional edge would mean that it has some options of where it goes next. One workflow in particular where I have struggled for so long to get it to work well is I organize a lot of my work in linear. I have a agentic workflow where on a schedule, it goes to linear. It picks up the latest task in the content bucket and it drafts that task for my approval. There are certain parts of that workflow that are more, hey, I need it to be intelligent and smart, and more, I'd like it to just do the same thing every time. For example, going to linear and picking up the next task. Same thing every time, does not need to think about it. Reading the task and then deciding to follow the rules for generating a blog post or generating a tutorial, that's a bit more smart. Actually generating the content based on the context and the task, that's a little bit more smart. What I like about Lane Graph and Flow is what I can do is start, that's just, the start of the task. First, deterministic action, go to linear, then LLM contextualizes and gets context from the task, then decides whether to go the blog branch and the tutorial branch. So that's it for today. Hope you all have a great one.